this video, I'm going to teach you how to do an engraving of a full wrap on a 40-ounce tumbler. Now, I already have a tutorial video that covers the basics of how to use the xTool RA2 Pro rotary. So if you don't know what I just said, you might want to go look at that video. Gonna be up there, or you can just go down to the description section. And while I already have that tutorial, it doesn't actually cover a full wrap. I do cover how to do a full wrap by splitting it up, but that's not exactly what people want. So naturally, the comment section is flooded with people asking, how do you do a full wrap? As in everything, all the way across and around. So why is this such a big problem? Well, you see, basically the top half of the 40-ounce tumbler is a different diameter than the lower half. You can't set the focus to the lower half of the tumbler because then the laser head's going to be too low and it'll scratch and crash into the upper half. And then you can't set it to the upper half because then it'll be too far away to actually do anything to the bottom half. You could crank up the power to 100%, but then the section that is in focus is going to be burned looking. This is especially true if you're using one of those really cool tumblers that has the iridescent underneath. Now, before I launch into all of the steps that you need to take in order to engrave the full wrap on a 40-ounce tumbler, let's go over some of the tools that I find practically necessary to make this less murdery and scary and frustrating. First, you want a backing plate. Hey kittens, what's a backing plate? Well, you know how when you use the chuck rotary, you put the tumbler on and then you have to kind of rotate things to move it into position so it stops wobbling around as it rotates. Well, that's actually because there's no way of knowing if the tumbler is flush to the prongs. So what you do is you 3D print or you cut out from wood, MDF, or acrylic a backing plate and put it on before the prongs. You can see how I've set mine up here. I've created an SVG file that you can use to cut your own out. But you can also find these for free on Thingiverse or even the Bamboo Labs shop. The next accessory that I find completely necessary is a tumbler level. I designed and 3D printed this one, however, I provided an SVG file if you just want to cut your own. The tumbler level is a simple bar with 2 feet on either end. You set the feet on the top and bottom edges of the tumbler, place a small level in the middle of the bar, then tilt it until its bubble is centered. Now, the last thing that I find helpful, not always necessary, but definitely helpful, is xTool's RA2 Pro accessory kit. Now, this is a separate kit that you can purchase to enhance your use of the RA2 Pro. There are 2 things in this package that I find to be the most helpful things when doing anything with the rotary. First, it has a new base, and this base can be adjusted to have tilt, which is super important for successfully engraving a full wrap to a 40-ounce tumbler. It also comes with a center alignment tool. This little laser beam tool is a magnetic device that clamps onto the end of the chuck, and then you turn it on with the button, not in my eyes, and it flashes a green laser across the center of the object that you have on your rotary. This little guy is so useful because I don't have to guess where I need to put my laser head when setting everything up. I can just slide the crosshair into place over the projected line. Again, none of this is required, it's just super helpful. Now let's go through the steps that you need to take to appropriately level and engrave the full wrap. With the first step being dial in your settings. You can see here that I've essentially wrecked this tumbler. It's for science. And while I'll provide you with my settings, it might differ laser to laser. So just know that you can start with my settings, but you're probably going to want to dial in your own. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using my M1 Ultra. Of all the lasers that xTool carries, I find this one to be the most versatile and the most accessible. So if you're like me and you're using the M1 Ultra, you need to remove the blade from the blade module before you continue. That's because you don't want the blade scraping across your tumbler and making really pretty lines you didn't intend to be there. Ask me how I know. Your RA2 Pro needs to be equipped with the chuck rotary and the appropriate prongs, which are going to be the L-shaped prongs, not the stepwise ones. The optimal place to put the RA2 Pro in the M1 Ultra is on the bottom right of the machine bed. Don't worry too much about about lining everything up and making sure that it is even with the crosshairs just yet, because we're going to use the laser tool to get that done. Go ahead and put your tumbler on the chuck. Now, if you were smart and you cut out one of those backing plates to put on the thing, this part's super easy. However, if you didn't do that, go ahead and rotate everything. Just make sure that it's not like wobbling around. Now, I personally like to make sure that I line everything up at this point while everything is still parallel to the machine bed. So I just use the laser pointer tool to get everything lined up and centered. Now you're going to use the tumbler level, and this really is the magic trick for everything. Place the leveling tool on top of the tumbler. Make sure the feet are sitting on the top and bottom edges. Set a small level in the middle of the bar and tilt the tumbler until it's level. If you don't have a rotary base that can tilt like the RA2 Pro accessory kit's base, you can simply prop it up. Once you have everything level, you want to take 2 distance measurements. The first measurement will be at the center of the ramp between the top and bottom halves of the tumbler. The second measurement will be at the bottommost edge of the top half, just before the ramp begins sloping down. Before taking distance measurements, make sure to rotate the tumbler until the handle prongs are out of the way. Now slide the laser head over to the first point in the middle of the ramp and get the distance. Write down the value and move on to the next measurement by sliding over to the second point at the base of the larger top half. Get the distance and write it down. Now that we have both of those measurements, we got to do some math. Take the higher measurement and subtract the lower measurement from it. Then take the difference and divide it by 2. Subtract the difference from the first measurement to get the final focal distance value. So in XCS, you need to set that as the distance. This measurement effectively represents the average distance for the entire tumbler. It's not too far away for the lowest sections, and it's not too close for the closer sections. It's the Goldilocks of focal distances. Now you might be wondering why I didn't take the focal distance measurement from the handle prongs. Well, first off, I couldn't exactly bend them all the way down to be flush with the tumbler itself. Maybe someone stronger could do it, but not me. Second, I'm using the M1 Ultra. The 20-watt module that I have currently installed on my M1 Ultra is not capable of doing a longer focal length. So that means the difference between the highest point on the prong and the lowest point at the base of the ramp is going to be a bit too disparate for the laser head. In other words, I can't get enough distance away from the prongs and still be able to blast off the powdered coating on those lower points. So if you want to be able to do that and actually engrave in the area where those prongs are located, you need to either flatten the handle prongs all the way down or use a laser that is galvo like the F1 or F1 Ultra, or has a 4-inch lens. Now you can slide the laser head all the way to the right to the top of the tumbler and rotate the tumbler such that the prongs for the handles are centered. Now all you have to do is set up your file with the appropriate settings that you gleaned earlier and start testing. That's right, I said testing. So grab your junk tumbler and let's get started on this part. The test is really simple. I just make a rectangle that is 2 millimeters high and about as wide as whatever the height is of my tumbler. Now you'll want to do this test because you don't know if your settings you dialed in earlier are going to apply when it's tilted. There are going to be spots on this tumbler that are going to be too far away or too close to your laser head. So the parts that are too close might actually burn, and the parts that are too far away might not knock off all of the powdered coating. Here are my test results. It didn't get all of the powdered coating off of the lowest points. I bumped the power just a little bit for the second test, but that just burned off all of the iridescent treatment in the higher points. Note this may not be a problem if you're engraving a regular stainless steel tumbler. The third line, I left the power alone, but I dropped the lines per centimeter. I ended up with 100% power, 250 millimeters per second for the speed, and 180 lines per centimeter. We tilted the tumbler, we got the appropriate focal distance, and we set our crosshairs. Now it's time to frame your artwork and make sure that everything is going to go where it should and that the laser head isn't going to hit anything, like those handle prongs that I told you about earlier. Once you verify everything is in place, you can process to your heart's content. Sit back, relax, and watch the laser work. And here's the finished tumbler. Ain't she a beaut, Clark? If you made it this far, congratulations! You survived listening to me talk for more than 5 minutes. And now you might actually understand how to get a full wrap engraving on a 40-ounce tumbler using the M1 Ultra. Don't forget to check the description below for the helpful SVG files that I am providing you for the backing plate and the little tumbler level. And of course, if you like this content and want to see more of it, feel free to subscribe to the channel and thumbs up the video. Thank you so much for giving me the attention that I crave. I'll see you next time.